Hello there, Lake County Library. This is Christy Lewis from the Lakeport branch. And today I'm filming from home, and we have a book haul for you guys today. We have 2 mystery thrillers, 2 literary fictions, and 1 nonfiction book. So before I jump into them, I just want to let you know that you can order any of these for free down below. We have like ebook copies and audiobook copies, large type, book on CD, lots of different options for you. If you just check out the library catalog down below, I'll have a link to the website. You can just copy and paste the titles or the author names directly into the catalog, and all of your options will appear for you. You can also get to the website, which has all kinds of digital resources. We have job training classes and documentaries and creative classes and just all kinds of really cool stuff. So definitely check that out down below. And without further ado, let's jump into the book haul. So first of all, we have The Match by Harlan Coben, which is by the creator of the #1 hit Netflix series Stay Close. So this is actually book 2 in the Wild series of thrillers. And so book 1 is about Wild, who is a man who was found in the woods as a boy and nobody knew where he came from. He was just living like a feral being in the woods. Now he's grown up. He still doesn't know really where he came from, but there's been another child disappearing, and it's been connected to a community that Wild is somewhat familiar with. And it's a community where the powerful are protected at the expense of everyone else. And there's somehow a connection to this girl who has disappeared. So a concerned mother who actually knows the child from school, who she goes to school with her own child, has asked Wild to really get involved because she just knows that it's connected to his past and knows that somehow he can solve this when nobody else can. So that's book 1. And book 2, it looks like it actually delves more into Wild's past. So we're getting the backstory second. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you check it out down below for free. There is an ebook, a book on CD, and a Playaway copy available. Playaway is like a digital MP3 player that you can order and it will arrive to your house and you can just play it and return it when you're done. And it just has that book downloaded on it. And by the way, I forgot to mention that anytime you order a book through the library system, and sometimes it comes from other libraries outside of our county, it will arrive at the library for free for you, the library of your choice. You can specify which one you want it to come to, and as well, you can specify how you want us to notify you that the book has arrived. But if it's been a while since you've ordered a book, it's always good to double check that we have the right contact information so that we can get a hold of you when your book arrives. The Match by Harlan Coben was published in 2022 by Grand Central Publishing. Next, we have another mystery thriller. This is When the Stars Go Dark by Paula McLean. Now, this is a New York Times bestseller. It's a Good Morning America buzz pick, and it was named one of the best books of the year by Marie Claire. It's actually written by the author of The Paris Wife, which I believe is historical fiction about Hemingway's wife. So very different. This is a total departure for her, going into the mystery thriller genre. So the New York Times book review says this has the kind of heart-pounding conclusion that thriller fans crave. And apparently it entwines its story with like true crime stories. And it also has trauma-informed elements. So in this book, we're following Anna Hart, who is a missing persons expert from San Francisco, and she's just had a lot of contact with this darker side of life. And so when something really tragic happens in her life, she decides to run to Mendocino, California, which might sound familiar to Lake County viewers. And that is where she plans to grieve the tragedy in her life. But when she arrives, she finds out that there's been another teenager that just disappeared that reminds her of something that happened when she was a girl in Mendocino and a child disappeared. And she realizes that her training up until now in her life has actually prepared her to go out and find this girl because she knows the kind of situations where a predator might find a teenager to prey on. So she decides to use her expertise to help find this girl, but it's going to be tough because she does not want to open up personally. So it's going to be a moment of personal growth for her as well as a crime story. So that sounds really good. If it sounds good to you, you can get it for free down below. It's also available on ebook, audiobook, Playaway, book on CD, or in large print. When the Stars Go Dark was published in 2021 by Valentine Books. Next, we have our first literary fiction novel, and this is Oh, William by Elizabeth Strout. So this is a New York Times bestseller, and it's written by the Pulitzer Prize winning Elizabeth Strout. Now, she's exploring marriage in this one, what holds us together even after we have grown apart. So Lucy Barton is the main character of this story, and she is a writer, but she's never been able to understand her husband, her ex-husband now. But she's also never been able to shake him off. For some reason, they still stay connected. When he invites her to accompany him to investigate a recently uncovered family secret, she's surprised, but also not surprised, because this is the kind of thing that happens with them. But this secret that they are exploring is apparently one of those kinds of secrets that makes you look at everybody that you know that's very close to you that you thought you knew in a different light. It changes everything. Now, reviewers like Hilary Mantel have praised Strout's perfect attunement to the human condition, which is what makes me think it's probably literary fiction. And Ann Patchett says that this is her new favorite book by her favorite author. Very high praise. If O. Williams sounds good to you, you can order it for free down below. It's also available on ebook, audiobook, book on CD, and in large type, and it was published by Random House in 2021. Next, we have our nonfiction book, and it is called The Next Civil War: Dispatches from the American Future by Stephen Marche. Now, this is a book of speculative nonfiction that presents 5 chilling scenarios about the future that would end in the death of the American nation. So the summary starts off with, the United States is coming to an end. The only question is how. Stephen Marche is a celebrated journalist, and in this book, he's interviewing a bunch of experts from different fields about the ways that America's future could go wrong. So, for instance, there's a scenario where the president of the United States is assassinated. There's a scenario where New York City is put underwater by a hurricane, and the effects that these would have on the nation, and how very little could actually send our nation over the edge. And actually, he talks to soldiers and counterinsurgency experts who have told him that the battle plans for a civil war have already been drawn up by colonels in the military, not by novelists. So this is a real deal. Listen to these reviews. The New York Times book review says, this should be required reading for anyone interested in preserving our 246-year experiment in self-government. And then the Atlantic says, well-researched, eloquently presented. And the Kirkus Reviews says, it's not a matter of if, but when. A civil war is on the way. This is a cross, apparently, between Ezra Klein's Why We Are Polarized, crossed with David Wallace Wells' The Uninhabitable Earth. So deeply researched, speculative nonfiction about the future. If that sounds like something you would like to check out, you can do so for free down below. It's also available on ebook. And The Next Civil War was published by Avid Readers Press, Simon & Schuster. And finally, we have another literary fiction. This is Leave Society by Tao Lin. This is from the acclaimed author of Taipei, and this is his new novel about what it is like to write a novel in real time. We're actually following a novelist named Lee who lives in Manhattan, and he's taking a vacation to visit his parents in Taipei for 10 weeks. And over the course of 4 years, as he's making the trip between these two vastly different worlds, he also goes through a lot of emotional and mental turmoil that comes with life as a writer and also as a son. So it's exploring everyday scenes and events, but also investigatively venturing into the edges of society where culture dissolves into mystery. So because it's called Leave Society, it makes me think that it's somehow about that concept of leaving society. Usually with books like this, which are kind of hard to explain, that often means that they're hiding some kind of really stylistic element that's really cool that you have to actually experience to understand. So that's the kind of book this is probably. If that sounds good to you, you can order it for free down below. Leave Society was published by Vintage in 2021. That is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this book haul. Let us know down below if you're going to check any of these out or if you have any questions, because we love to hear from you guys. Okay, make sure to like this video if you did like it and you want to see more like it, and subscribe if you want to make sure you're always notified when we post a new video. I'll talk to you next time, guys. Bye-bye.